Hello.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, I'm fine. It's I can't be too loud because it's like 4 in the morning here.
Okay. EU, I gotcha. Geez, so four in the
Asia,
morning.
Asia.
Asia. Wait,
Yeah, man.
I think I have you confused with someone. Anyway, where in Asia?
Philippines.
Okay.
SEA.
And then do you play
Should
on?
I?
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was gonna ask if you play on the Korean server or just like Southeast Asian server. I think it is.
Just Southeast Asian, because I do play on the Chinese server sometimes, but like, um, it's kind of I play more on my home server since the ping is like lower.
Yeah.
It's like one ping.
And then what's the ping to the Chinese servers?
It's like around 20 or 30.
Okay. Hard
How
to
about
say.
you, by the way? Should I send you the VODs,
Yeah.
I guess? Okay.
And then what are you looking to do?
VOD review, probably.
Alrighty.
I feel like I'm plateauing. One of them is a game on my main server, just a Philippine server, GM. And then the other one's a game on the Chinese server,
Okay.
although I haven't played that much.
Yeah. And then so you say
Plat.
you're plateauing. It's like, do you have any feelings or thoughts towards that? Like what it could be, like where you're falling short?
Mm, Probably consistency. Like some games, I feel like I'm working on, let's say, jungle tracking. While another game, my jungle tracking's good, but my tethering is like bad, or my CSing goes down.
Yeah. Well, whenever you're working on one thing, everything else does go down.
Hmm.
But it goes down like temporarily. So whenever, like that's kind of the price you pay, if you're looking to do it like that, where you're specifically focusing on the one thing. So it might not be too bad, if that's what you're looking for, because you do it one game, your tethering's bad, your auto attacks are bad, but then you have a better understanding of like how to do jungle tracking, and then you do it again and again and again and again, and then once you have it downloaded, then you're back to normal, but you have like that jungle tracking added. But you have to be willing to like give up, like, I don't know, however many games it takes, I suppose, to add that to your repertoire, to your arsenal.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess I won't be too down about it, but I feel like I'm kind of happy with my progress overall. Though I've this actually my I swapped from mid, so
Swap from mid to AD, just this
yep.
season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Last season was Masters. Now I'm GM on AD.
Alrighty. Not bad. And then, alright, so let's just see what we get here. We're playing Ezreal, or CAITLYN Morgana into Ezreal Janna.
Hmm.
I would say their lane is like slightly winning if you guys are bad. It's such a weird skill thing. Or like whenever there's a skill difference, this lane can get weird, but you guys push them in, so it should be good. But I've seen crazier things. I watched a Nyla, what was it? Nyla Yumi pushing a Jinx like Lulu the other day. Yeah. Okay. Good trading. Just hammering the autos down. You love to see it.
What do you think about the ghost here, by the way?
Ghost into their team comp. Because anytime you run Ghost, it's usually going to be mostly for like into the mid game. Can I see their champions? Man. Oh. Okay, so they have Skarner, Kale, Yasuo, and Ezreal Janna. And you have a bunch of champions that go in, so Ghost does help you catch up with your teammates whenever they go in, and then you can go a little bit forward and then pull the enemy back. I think the Ghost is fine. Because it's like
Okay.
you're giving up heal, you're giving up cleanse, like that's fine. and then giving up exhaust against their team comp 2, it's fine. Because like you can't exhaust the Skarner, you can't exhaust the Kale. Like you could exhaust the Yasuo, but who cares? Alrighty. Right off the bat, this is so much better laning than what I'm used to seeing in the West. Just basic pushing. I can't believe it. It's so nice. So good.
Thanks. I had quite a bit of trouble getting that down when I was learning bot.
Okay,
I
auto.
think I missed an
Whoa!
auto attack here.
Okay, yeah, this is not clean. Okay, and then target champions only. Stand your ground like right, not on that line, like right anywhere across this line, and you're good. So standing your ground is like playing at the max range, but then like waiting, and then an immediate like auto Q, and you're good. But having that target champions only, whenever you're playing with them under turret, is so like you have to build that up with CAITLYN. Like I've played a good amount of CAITLYN, and that's one thing that like had to get clean. I noticed because you're gonna place those traps, and then we have to have the target champions only to like consistently hit them. Because God, if you got that, yeah, if you got that with a Q, like John is like no HP. Alrighty, no problem. Morgana dies, no problem. Q, close. Whoever like Morgana's focusing, I suppose you could try, but like it would cost you like moving right into the Skarner. So,
Yeah, I felt like if I tried to kill the Janna there, I'd have to die in return.
Yeah, because Skarner doesn't spend E this entire time.
What do you think about hitting the tower there after the third crash? Because I've given it some thought, and I wouldn't really like the cheater on CAITLYN since like um I wanna keep pushing them in and hitting the tower most of the time to get plates, since I feel like that's what CAITLYN has to do, right?
Yeah.
And but at the same time, my jungler's passing top and their jungler's passing down.
Right. So you have to entertain that. So it's like you, by hitting the turret, you can pull the enemy jungler into you, and that's a win for your team. Because if the enemy jungler attacks you and you survive it, then it's winning. But it gets bad whenever you stay here too long, and that too long is always going to be changing. You know how fast the enemy jungler clears and things like that. But yeah, so one, it's like yeah, we don't want to cheater on CAITLYN. At least whenever we have like a hard pushing lane like this, we want to wail on them. We want to get the first turret play and then make their life miserable. And then two, like to outplay the enemy jungler by pulling them and knowing the timings and then playing a better distance in lane. Like that's where you can kind of just win topside for your map if the enemy ganks you on CAITLYN and you survive. What your support does, you know, it is what it is. If they die, like it is what it is. But we can control where we are.
Okay.
So I think it's good, and it's like something you can aim to like outplay the enemy with. So we poke them a little bit, we hit the turret a little bit, and then with this wave coming back, now would be the time where you like strictly do nothing around here, and then wait to see what the enemy does. Like you're watching them, because you can get free hits with the autos on them if they suck, but it's not important because Sejuani's top, and then if we're entertaining the Skarner gank, then moving back here puts us in a safe position. And then this wave is pushing towards us no matter what. So we have that to play around. I'm sure you've seen like some of the, at least I only see it like in the Asian ADCs where they'll do stuff like that. Specifically the Chinese ones because they're used to dying a lot. Like they'll move back to areas like this and strictly do nothing. But it's for that sort of reason. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, you wait for it to push back, I guess, so you can hit the wave from a safer spot.
Yeah. These minions will push, collide right here, and then we can be like max ranged. Jeez, like, let's say the minions are right here, we can be all the way back here. And then Skarner's screwed. Compared to like moving into them and then on the timing. But hindsight's 2020 there, but like with entertaining the gank, that's how you do it. Moving all the way back temporarily and then watching the enemy bot lane, seeing what hints they give you. At least if you don't have a ward. Okie doke, so Support dies, back to lane. Ezreal really wants it, huh?
Yep.
You gotta cue the Janna. We're not killing the Ezreal. Our lane's like
Okay.
already in a bad spot. Okay. Okay. Please. Yes. 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 Alrighty, it all works out. Now question, does Skarner have flashed?
I don't think he did. I don't think he has flash. I mean,
Yeah. So that makes
otherwise, I think he would have flashed on me.
Then we thin out the wave a little bit and a reset. Very nice. And then back to lane. Now against Janna Ezreal, I think it's fine to go Noon Quiver Boots instead of like maximizing the AD here. The boots could like help you move into range to get like some autos off. So whenever you have them pushed under turret, you move in and out of like the max range a little bit easier. Because it's going to be about building up like, at least if they're playing maximally safe, then that's something you can do to counteract that, where you can move in and out of range to like get less damage every single auto, but then get more autos. And the Noon Quiver just helping us push the wave, as if Morgana's not even there. Okay, so another slow push, and Sejuani starts dragging. So then it's like, where do you want to go from here? You have like option A, hit the turret, option B, ward, and then option C, dragon.
Since I have Ghost, I wouldn't really go for option B.
Okay.
I'd probably go for option A or option C. I think in this game, I went option A because I felt like if Skarner shows up, we're pushing anyway, so we'll have time to respond to Sejuani.
Yeah, I think that's good. I think A is your best bet. Sejuani doesn't need help. We don't have to ward. And this is like one of our only times to hit the turret too. Because once this crashes and bounces back, we won't have another opportunity. So far, so good. Oh, right as I say that. Right as I say that. Let me take the turret shot. Oh, you click in. Oh.
I'm not actually sure how the turret works.
Right, so
Is it like
you hit them and then watch the travel speed of the bullet. This is where you get messed up. And then you've moved in, you're still in the range. Like let's say the turret range is like ugh. And then unpause and then the damage like connects and then you move in.
you get greedy for the plate?
Yeah. I think okay, but then we move to Sejuani. I think just unleash on the wave here. We have Sejuani bot for once. Like you said, if Skarner wants to gank, like good luck. It's very unlikely he's level 6 at this point too, where he's already spent 2 ganks bot. So I think as his wave is coming in, let's just queue and then keep hammering autos, keep them under turret. Because that would be like a timing to get like another turret play, and then Sejuani does dragon. If Sejuani doesn't stay bot, let's say she goes topside, then you crash another wave, and then we could reset.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we would have like Noon Quiver boots, no problem.
Stronger spike too.
Oh, close. Nice. Oh, dude, nothing feels better than hitting those isolated Qs on CAITLYN.
Yeah, man. Like their HP bar goes like minus 200 or something. It feels so good.
Okay. Like, whenever I played a lot of CAITLYN, I would do the same thing, like slow push, but I play to the side of the wave whenever they're playing too safe and just throw like the willy-nilly Qs. If they hit, oh wow, we are rocking. But against Ezreal, you play to the side of the wave, we're eating Qs for no good reason. But like against like a Xayah Kaisa, like that's something you can use against them. Or they're permanently being cowards too. Okay, so once you get the turret plate here, you can be a little crazy. You can move like up to here and then see what they do. Because you have a minion to block his Q, and then if Ezreal moves forward, you could try for like an auto EQ, and then you kill, most likely, because Janna has no mana. If Morgana lands anything, anything at all, we're good. So this would be like a time to be a little crazy, and it's right before
Okay.
like Skarner can gank you too. Stuff I love to do on CAITLYN. Get right here, EWQ, like even you don't even have to kill the Ezreal either. Like you get him to like
You just
10,
have to chunk him, right?
yeah, 10% HP. He's out of lane. Crash a wave. We're good. Okay, so Janna stays, and then Sejuani's topside. So, but we got Morgana, so Skarner can suck one. It's all fine. It's one of these like godlike overstays too. Okay, a little late on the reaction to Skarner.
Tunnel vision.
Okay. Okay. Don't spend mana on the tank, because you're gonna, if you're ever gonna kill, like the mana is like, it's so much of your damage, right? So you have to spend it on a squishier target.
Okay.
The autos are free hits, so let's spend them like that. And then we're waiting. We are waiting. Get the reset. We get the Gale Force boots. Nice. They're going to be coming back with long swords. Morgana's has Mobies. That's fine. I wish my Morganas would get Mobies on NA. Jesus.
By the way, I just want to say those Janna keys are impossible to dodge.
I
I
know.
don't know, man.
I know. There's something weird about them, man. I have no tips on that. All my years in league. I don't know. Okay, so our team goofs it. It is what it is. Now we gotta wait.
Yeah, trying not to trade here because afraid they might get dove.
God bless. Okay, so you immediately crash the wave. That kind of tells me you want to play for Dragon, which is good.
Yep.
Cut their bot lane off. Sejuani, come on. We just pushed our way for you.
Yeah, so I end up just staying and doing nothing.
Yeah, yeah. Man. So maybe if you play this wave slower, it's better, but like, everything was set up for the Dragon, other than like, we don't have Sejuani ult, but the enemy bot lane also didn't show like to contest the wave. Ezreal totally backs off there, so instead of queuing, I suppose we just last hit and watch and react from here.
Okay.
That's kind of rough though.
Last hit, clean top side. This
Okay.
one I think I play bad. Could have Gale Force.
Yeah, you could ghost like any time just to let it rip. It's a cooldown we can expend. And then kiting the tornado instead of trying to outplay it. Headshot onto Ezreal. And then Morgana spending herself for you, but you're not like taking advantage of it. Because they're both trying to hit her, not you right now. Okay.
I thought Janna would flash, which is why I didn't
Yeah.
limit harder. So in my mind, I felt like if I hit Ezreal and the fight goes on, then I have a better chance of winning. If they commit,
Yeah.
that is.
So if you're not going to immediately go on Janna, I think this is fine. Like the auto W, and that's like about all we got.
How would you feel about staying here, by the way?
I think it plays into Ezreal's interest more because you're stronger than him right now, and the goal is kind of to take the turret. So if you stay, you do build up a little bit more resources, I suppose. But I think our main goal is to try to take his turret.
Okay. This is what I end up doing.
Like, it's not the worst thing ever, but there is like that aspect where Ezreal is like looking to get some free time right now where you're stronger, and this like gives it to him.
Okay.
But then he's also like no mana. It's like,
That's what I wanted. That's why I wanted him to stay. But like, Jana was behind him the whole time, and like, as soon as Jana disappears, I think I recall there. Okay, I can explain my itemization.
okay.
I just want to say I didn't know we were full AD until it was too late.
GG.
Otherwise, I would have built LDR.
Yeah, dude, you can go LDR second kind of easily on CAITLYN too. If you have to. If you have to. Yeah, Gale Force LDR IE, it is what it is sometimes. When you're full AD. Okay, so now Ezreal's coming back with okay, this is too much. This is too much too quick. Morgana, not in position. Sejuani, not in position. This is a group effort to take this turret.
Okay.
Even though the wave's there, it's like we gotta be watching everyone else. Black shield onto you, Morgana. Okay, man. Yeah, and then Ezreal has like the Essence Reaver, the Longsword, and the Lucidity boots off that recall versus like us getting the Zeal.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he got the spike off those like two waves where you stay, you know? So like let's say you recall and then he pushes the one, you come back, and then you could slow push and then probably take the turret even against his itemization. And then we take the turret and then like we avoid his Essence Reaver timing.
Okay.
So that would like be something to leverage against the whole Morgana situation, the whole getting 4-man situation. Okay, and then I think you have to swap mid here, unless you were just
Yeah, I went
playing.
bot because I felt like, I want to take the tower. It's low, and then there's 4 people.
Yeah. Oh yeah, mid
Top.
turret's down. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, let's well on this turret.
Okay, I can explain this one too.
Oh. Auto. Man. Okay.
W Q auto E auto, right?
Well, you can't do another W since you just ate that trap, at least without like enough time. So I think auto EQ and then just auto.
Okay.
He might dodge the Q. It is what it is.
Because I thought the tower would die from the headshot, so I would have room to chase, which is why I used the
Wow,
cancel.
you had headshot here?
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is a double headshot. And then could be a triple with the E. Jesus, if that Q lands, like so let's say we just walk forward, auto EQ.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure he dies. And then whenever you E, right, you're out of turret range, so it, you know, fixes that problem. Which in the moment, good luck. Good luck seeing that, but now we know. And the more you do those sequences, like the more comfortable you can get with stuff like that.
Okay.
But like, yeah, God, I wish I had some clips of me playing CAITLYN, but like I'm very comfortable with like whenever I have total advantage, like the map's under control, like I can't be ganked. Like I'm so comfortable with moving under their turret temporarily and then like auto EQing them. You know, E out of the turret range. And it deals so much damage. Or auto EWQ whenever they don't have a dash. Because I didn't see any of that, but better. But I did see a whole lot of like really good slow pushing, which I don't see that every day. They don't do that in the West.
Thanks. I also have this issue, like, I think sometimes I try to jungle track, and there will be like people who, let's say, I know that for sure that they started bot side, right? Because like let's say missing mana or late arrived to lane, and then there'll be some people who do some psychopathing or some stuff and go like red. I'm on red side, so they'll do something like red raptors, golems, and bot and some shit. Then I'll die like that. And it pisses me off. I don't really know how to prevent that though, aside from doing a level 2 ward. But I feel like
Well, you don't have
um
to prevent it. I think you have to like build up a experience to it, and then
mhm,
know like when you're gonna run into the like I define them as like anomalies because and then the champions that will do that would be like crazy ones, right? Like a Rek'Sai could do that, a Lee Sin.
mhm.
It's always gonna be these champions that have to attack early. So against those champions, like you can kind of adjust without having vision. The same way like you would
Okay.
play like further back a little temporarily, trying to avoid that Skarner gank. You could try to do the same thing at different timings in the lane, as vague as that is. But you know what I
Okay.
mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever they have the option to attack, you have to entertain it for a certain amount of time, and then at the right time, easier said than done. But it's always going to be those type of champions, you know, a Lee Sin, an Elise, a Rek'Sai, a I don't know, Volibear.
Yep.
But like a Karthus, like he's always full clearing, no problem.
Yeah.
Good God.
Like this, I don't really know what to do anymore.
Push mid, like it's
Yeah, push.
screwed.
My idea was like push mid, take top, since we're not gonna fight for drag. But Sejuani, like,
Yeah, you can't take top because you don't have enough time. Because they're gonna do
mhm,
dragon and then be able to push out mid. So it's like your option is push mid, and then with all these jungle camps down, it's like you can go take his blue side, but then you have to return mid.
mm-mm,
So wherever you go, it's like we have to return mid. So we push one, and then it's like we have their blue side, so that's option A, and then push top, option B, and then option C is a recall, which sucks. Sucks a lot.
yeah.
So yeah, it's like I'd be looking for farm personally, and I know farms in their blue side maybe. At the very least, we got a blue buff. If this fight can suck one, I do not care. Like it's impossible.
Yeah, that's why I don't commit. Like, I don't know if you looked at the chat there, but the pings, the
And
pings are like danger, danger.
yeah,
So, but it should still be winning. Like, look at top.
I
There.
don't know. I don't know. Like, like I think from your position, it's kind of losing because the Ezreal's like a little bit scaled, and then they have a wind wall, and then they have a KLR. Now this really hurts Caitlyn, and then they have a Fed Skarner and like an OK Janna. So we don't have a yeah, we don't have a support. We barely have a mid laner that is not going to compensate this. You know, he's running into this Fed stuff. Renekton sucks against Ezreal Skarner. But then we do have a Prowler's Claw Bork set, so I can punch Ezreal twice. So it's like that's something. But like, if from your perspective, I see like no win. Like if I'm Caitlyn here, I'm like we lose. Like it's so rough. It is so outrageously rough.
Okay.
Yep. So it's like I would play around the set in Sejuani and then just be farming as much as I can, hoping that we can get to like 28 minutes with an LDR and IE, but we have a rapid fire. We're screwed. There goes our big man set.
Yep.
What to do, what to do.
Felt like this could be a kill, but kill ult.
Man. God, the kill ult lands. So much damage.
I tried to flash his Q there, but I think I should have just ran, or if my ult went onto Ezreal.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's the same deal whenever you spent like the EWQ on Skarner bot. Like we have to focus the ones we can actually kill. With our build Gale Force Rapid Fire, we're only killing the Janna, the Ezreal, maybe the Yasuo, maybe the Kale. So yeah, spend the abilities on them. And then we can spend our yeah, we can spend the autos on the Skarner when we can. He's not invincible running at us. Okay, and then a pickaxe. We are screwed. We are screwed.
Yep. Should have been LDR too. What's the argument for Gale Force versus Kraken, by the way? I'm not really sure. Because, like, on one hand, I'm theorizing that as long as you can get, or as long as you're like ruler or someone like that, and you position like God, then I feel like Kraken Slayer is better. But, you know, at some point, I see Gumayusi going Gale Force for some reason.
Yeah,
Then,
I think Gale Force can help you kill noobs better. It gives you that reposition, but CAITLYN can do a lot with that. And then what you give up is like some attack speed and then some damage. So Kraken Slayer like augments how your DPS comes out. So
mhm,
if that doesn't matter against the enemy team comp, then you can like leverage the dash and then like what the dash can do for you on CAITLYN compared to
mhm.
that. So against the enemy team comp, it's like, would you be able to play that front to back? Like, sure, if you wanted to. But then the Gale Force would help you kill like the Kale, the Ezreal, and Janna more. Um,
Mhm.
but that doesn't have to happen. So I think you could have went Kraken this game.
Mhm.
Yeah, because then a Kraken LDR second, like we would actually be hitting the Skarner like pretty hard because that's gonna be
And
the
doing damage.
yeah because that's gonna be the one in front, and we don't have a way to like get around that. So
Mhm.
does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah, and then if you have enchanters too, like it really augments when you can build Kraken or not. If you have a Lulu, if you have a Yumi, if you have like champions like that, the enchanters that are actually good, then you can get Kraken pretty easily.
I think my logic here was like before I knew we were full AD, I felt like they were all squishy and I can do stuff versus Corner ult. Like if he decides to flash ult me, maybe if I can predict it, then I go Gale Force out. Or he has a chance. But I guess I- the mistake is not knowing we're full AD.
Yeah, that and Skarner got really fed. Like both those go against you. Man, nothing good can happen.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't want to go there, but my whole team is there. It's like
Yeah,
I think I would have rather went top side or mid into top camps, scout to possibly top wave after. But
yeah. In solo queue, it's like, what are you gonna do though?
yeah,
Yeah. With the game state too, like it's pretty much over. I don't see like any because if you guys don't fight that, like, are you guys scaling? Not particularly.
yeah.
And now I think about it, not even close against Ezreal and Kale. GG. Skarner doesn't even scale that bad either. So yeah, you play the lane very well, like with pushing it, and then there's some things you can like maximize in it, I think. Um, but then it all like where you don't like hard stomp the lane and then the build goes against us, that's like where it falls apart here.
Okay.
I'm not seeing like a major error like in the earlier mid game though. other than the itemization. Like the itemization like ruins it all, unfortunately. Yeah, because the Gale Force is like, yeah, I can kill the Ezreal Janna, but then once mid game happens, it's not about that anymore. And then we don't end up utilizing the Gale Force to kill them, therefore not getting enough gold to like keep that going. So it should go against you, you know? That Gale Force should go against you in the mid game, to be fair. Compared to building Kraken Slayer.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I used to build Kraken PD like every game on CAITLYN.
Nice.
Although one of my teammates told me, because I play collegiate, one of my teammates told me na CAITLYN doesn't really like attack speed, so me just learning the role tried to take in everything.
Yeah, it does depend. Have you ever watched Forgiven play?
No, I think the ones I've mainly watched playing to learn is like Hansama, Gumayusi, and Ruler Viper.
Not bad. Gumayushi's the guy. Like, it's so hard to beat watching any other AD.
Yeah, man. Like he'll not stand behind minions against a hook champion, and suddenly his support will body block. I'm like, whoa, bro, winning trade. This one was on China.
This is the easiest matchup I've ever seen in my life. Ever! Like, unless Galio, like, stomps Syndra, this looks so easy. Like,
Okay.
this
Yeah,
is
free win,
winning.
right?
Yeah, this is winning. And then, like, these two combined into bot is winning. Like, this is whatever. We don't even care. No TP on Kinnan. We do not care what happens up there. Die 20 times, Darius. Or kill him 20 times. We don't care. But like, yeah, Karma to a Morgana, Kite, and then Caitlyn to a Kaisa, like it doesn't get better than having that.
Oh yeah, level 1 shenanigans happen, so.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a Galio issue. Especially on the Asian servers, they're not messing around. Galio will fuck everyone up.
Dude, like, I've seen supports die to tower level 1 just to get an extra health potion or something. It's ridiculous.
Okay, big ass Q by Morgana. Oh, we got one. Sorry to everyone else.
Is it okay for me to drop a ward there, by the way?
Let's see. Where? Oh, do you drop it on red as you recall?
Yeah. I felt like could help my jungler a bit.
Well, they're not going to re-invade. They don't have the time. Since they died
Okay.
and then have to reset, Graves has to reset to one of his buffs. If he used to walk all the way here, like, given that it's 30 seconds till it spawns, it takes him 20 seconds to like get about like halfway onto the map. So they don't have enough time. So the ward's bad, unfortunately. But it probably won't come back to bite us here. We don't need it for lane, and then we don't need it against jungle either. Hopefully we don't need it against mid. Okay.
I missed 3 creeps here, so I'm not doing anything.
Yeah, and then like I said, against lanes with like no threat, you can stand to the side of the wave and then look for Qs. When they zone
Okay.
themselves especially, like go for it. Because wasting the Q doesn't have a downside when the enemy isn't contesting the wave.
Okay.
Yeah, so you have like a freebie that deals so much damage. You also would like position here, and then it creates a real like awkward position for them to play against, you know? And then if they go forward, they're losing. Isn't that something? Okay.
I just wasn't sure because like Kaisa arrived like super late to lane, and I thought they would leash. So if I position topside without a ward, I'd get psychopathed.
Yeah, you never know. Let's see. Well, I'm saying like once they're in lane, not immediately.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, and then just generally.
Okay.
If we can get to the side of the lane. Just to dump those Qs. Okay.
Here in my mind is insta crash. I think And then
Whoa. I mean, winning.
mhm.
And then we have to wait for the wave. Morgana sucks. Can you tell me why Morgana sucks here?
That Q is bad since Kaisa can't follow up. So it's like wasting a cooldown
Yeah.
and wasting your mana.
Yeah. It's too soon. He doesn't wait for the minions to collide. And then it's that bad boy's on cooldown for like 8 seconds.
Mhm.
Whenever they do that too, like let's say you're healthier, you could try to move past the wave. But we're just trying to get the wave in eventually. Okay. Alright. You could put a W. Yeah, I was about to say put a W anywhere. Nice.
Like this one's a bit fishy. I didn't want to redive this.
Yeah, you don't have to. Like at least
But
Karma might get crazy, but this is a waste. Like it's too slow to dive this. At least for you to stay. I think. Oh shit. Okay, Kaisa W, take you out. Okay.
I would slow push here, but I see Elise on the map, so over top. And then she dies.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it even reset. He does
Guess she did not.
Raptors. Yeah, if there's no world where he can just re-invade here as Elise. He has to reset, spend his gold.
Wasn't really sure if that's worth though, cause like I lose a cannon wave. And another wave after that because of a freeze. What do you
Yeah.
think?
I mean, it's on bad timing because after Elise dies like that, to fight after becomes like less in your favor. Now the fight
Mhm.
becomes 2v3. So committing to it, like even if you get the kill, like you said, your wave's pushing out, so that's going against you. The Elise had just died, so that's going against you. And then they have a numbers advantage, so that's going against you. So I think the better play is like play it like at range and then keep kiting the enemy and see what they give you rather than like
Okay.
continue to move into them. Because that keeps it stable, and then even if things go wrong, it won't go wrong for you. You know, it's just bad for Karma. It's good for
Okay.
Graves, but so long that we're alive, we can be in lane. But the gold like kind of evens it out, but then we lose out on some XP.
Mhm.
And then overall it like creates variance in what's happening.
Okay, my brain lagged here by the way, so cleanse.
Okay, what even happened here? This like so Elise pushes out bot wave, kills Kaisa. How? And then Galio roams bot. Galio naturally killing Syndra, as I worried about. And then I think right here it's like you need to have your screen centered. At least I do whenever I'm fighting like this, so I know like I can play it well as I'm pulling the enemy in, because this isn't going to be a position where we take the fight into them. level 6, level 6. They're attacking level 4, level 5, no HP. So this is like a defensive fight for us. So by
Okay.
default, it's like we want to hold our ground and then probably be kiting as we go. So I would want to be center screened and then auto the Galio, W right here, and then like moving to the right probably, and then see what
Okay.
I get from there. Then play out a sequence. But like with the intentions of pulling the enemy in and doing what damage I can, because it's not about like killing them here. It's about like getting the free damage and doing what you can without like spending yourself. But then moving into them, we move from here to here, and then that really sets us up for the Morgana Q. So that's where it goes wrong. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yep, they're attacking, we move in. It's fucked. That and it's like to spend yourself for your allies. I hate when I find myself doing this. That's for sure. I hate when I've been tricked. I've been tricked into a fight that sucks, and then I pay the price. Ridiculous.
Dude, like sometimes I feel like playing solo queue, man. Um, I feel like I have to like juggle literally everything, man. Like watch my allies and stuff. Because I remember there's a game I lost, a lane I lost. Uh, doing getting level 2 first, but then my support didn't walk up, and I'm like, how did we lose that fight?
Yeah.
And it turns out my support was standing somewhere in Africa. But
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh yeah. So yeah, I mean, I tell people all the time, is like watch your allies like they're enemies, but yeah, that does take more. But at the end of the day, you do have the APM to spend. Like, whenever I'm playing good, like, I think that's what I end up doing more. But I don't know. You have to be more in the zone. You have to be more in it. Something like that. Hi, Syndra. We're a big fan. Again, you have to be kiting here. If the E's not going to kill the Graves, we have to save it. Because
Okay.
like spending our autos and then moving is going to be like our free hits, and that's what like we need to save the E for if the enemy is fully moving into us. Or,
Okay.
yeah, at least as long as you can. Okay, then then I have no clue what will happen with the Leafs here. They're built different on these servers.
Dude, like you're like absolute psychos.
I mean, that's what you got to be on the Leafs.
That's true. Dude went red blue grump into bot side into invade, man. Into dive into invade, sorry.
Yeah. At least they're trying to attack, man. Listen, on the Western servers, like, imagine at least just 5 camps into no gank. Like, would you want that? Like, this guy, he'll figure out, like, he can't invade at that time. And then he gets better. But
That's
it
true.
is what it is. It is what it is when he dies on our team. Alrighty, finally, we have a slow push. God bless. Everything's settled down for 4 seconds here. We can get a turret plate. Okay, and then you have the option of like resetting here, or you stay. So, which one are we thinking?
Um, I think I go for the plate, but in hindsight, since I have a good reset for the Gale Force, I think I can pound on them better. If I back on the Gale Force, then I'll be able to hit or exert my pressure more. Although I think here I choose to stay because I think we chunk Kaisa a bit, and I
Okay.
don't really want her to pick up the wave.
Okay. Yeah, I think backing for the Gale Force is your best play. Because they would push one and then would bounce back immediately, and then you could just keep trying to shove like the Gale Force into them for like basically the rest of the laning phase, because you could keep them in lane from like 10 minutes to like 14, I feel like. Or
Okay.
or it would force a response from the map, and then we play ball from there. But at least like isolated in our lane, like you have the advantage to spend here. So I think we have to. And then compared to backing against that Ezreal, like if we back this time, like Kaisa doesn't have any good items. Like he's not going to complete his mythic, I don't think, with one wave. So, man, and we stay. We even started the recall. Man,
I thought about it.
if we get a kill, it's worth. But it is what it is. Let's see. Let's see. One wave, no. Listen, man, they're fighting top. Like, this is why we stayed to kill them. Or keep pressure, keep attacking the lane. Get a turret play, get their HP, get something like them. So right, Graves, Galio are fighting top. It's gonna be one of your only chances to fight them since we've stayed without any interruptions, and we have item advantage, kind of. All right, we have the ability to use an item advantage if you hit them and don't get hit, because we have the boots to a crit cloak. Man.
Sad banana.
So now they're gonna crash, and then they're gonna reset, and then we're here with a Gale Force, and then we crash one, and it's like our mid lane's getting screwed, and we can't do anything about that. We get one play, they come back to lane, we chunk them, but then after this play mid, like they can start attacking bot lane. So even though like we have a push, like it can get screwed up. Okay, but what actually happens here?
Agreed for the plate again.
As we should, unless we're in a weird spot. We gotta get crazy. I love the Qs. I love it. There we go. Gale Force, auto, and then I would have E'd. I would have wasted my E on Morgana, not knowing my damage. Okay. And then we get out. And what?
Yeah, I see Graves. I'm like, oh no.
Oh, I was like, why?
I think I could have killed this guy actually if I played it better.
So move in, auto.
And then insta cleanse flash.
Well, stand your ground, and then auto. Wait for him to be in that W range, and then E away, and then EQ. Right, all right. So auto, and then wait for him to be in range. EWQ, auto. Maybe we have to flash his Q, and then he's dead.
Okay.
Okay.
I was just thinking I didn't want Graves to get the shutdown. I know I have a shutdown right now, so I walked up.
Yeah. So
I should have just kited back.
If Graves is gonna kill us with ulti, like we could even flash here, and then if he kills us with autos, whatever, man. We tried. Listen, we tried to go Guma Yushi. Sometimes it doesn't work out. Right. Damn. He autoing and then E over here, EWQ, and then Galio's like, what? And then maybe we're smoke screened if we're over there. Okay, so maybe we die to the Graves ulti and smoke screen, but at least we had a chance.
I thought I could kite into the bush or Galio could get the auto attack. Yeah, but I guess kiting into the tower is better too. Oh!
Trying to kite past the meatballs never works. Galio, Gragas, never. Alrighty, so then we fumbled it once due to the enemy having advantage jungle mid. So in those spots too, like if you can endure it, so that would have entailed like not having the fight with Kai'Sa that spent all of our HP. If you can endure those two, like it makes things go more even. But that's a choice you can do in solo queue because it enters a gray area where it's like fighting might just be better.
Yeah, this does not end up well.
Yeah. So we're hitting turret. We got.
I know Morg's there, but I thought Karma would go with me and body block for me. And if Galio decides to ult, I just trap where he's gonna land.
Yeah.
And I have flash.
This is like the price of Syndra losing mid lane though. Where you can't hit that right then, right there. Because Syndra wasn't in mid this entire time. Syndra pushes, Galio catches the wave, and then Galio's instantly moving bot here. Whereas Syndra's recalled. So you have to respect that as you're hitting the turret. And then, at least if I was playing it, I'd be like, okay, this sucks, but like, I have to like give up a bunch of autos on the turret to simply do nothing so that I endure like the potential of the Galio and Morgana.
Mhm.
Because once they're behind you, you're screwed. I think Karma gets the kill. Man. 9 Harvester, Galio, Swifties. Interesting.
Sad banana, man. Ultra sad banana.
I think this is the same mistake where you move in to try to attack when the fight is defensive. At
Okay.
least the fight's losing because Elise is weaker and Syndra's weaker. So
So I should just stay in a position where,
yeah,
yeah.
we'd be right here. It's just barely moving forward there. Yeah, you get the 2 extra autos, but it's too much. It cost us too much.
Okay.
Then I would say the game's mostly over. If it, like as it should be. If Elise Syndra lose, man, like we lose. But from our perspective, I think it would just be more identify when to be more defensive. It's not like always do it, but because you have like you have the offense down, and then you have the neutral down pretty well. But the times when you can hold your ground from the neutral, but then pull them into you, I think you can abuse that a little bit more, and that's gonna come more from like losing like game states, or at least ones where the enemy have like a slight advantage. Because anytime you take it on neutral or offensive ground, when the enemy has an item lead, like they simply have more numbers, so you would hope that it would work out for them. Like, and then if you have the lead, you would hope you would have an advantage whenever you hit them. So whenever they have the advantage, it's like let's try to pull them into us more. And
Okay.
yeah, I feel like things will work out a lot better for you. Because even if you don't win the fights, right, you stay alive, and then you can keep farming the lane. You can keep, you have a chance basically. So yeah, that's most of my thoughts. I think your laning's like way better than most ADCs I see though, so that's really good.
We really tried to hammer it down. Had a hard time with that because I felt like, well, in mid, it's 1v1, so most of the matchups stay the same. And like in bot lane, though, like you have basically 2 times or like 4 times the amount of matchups. It makes my head hurt, man.
Yeah, at least they're kind of similar though. Like a Kaisa, Zaya, like mostly the same thing. But where all the abilities change and the variant spot lane, Jesus. So
Okay.
it is what it is. Yeah, that's my thoughts. Did that help at all?
Yeah. Stay more defensive, and I guess recall when you're stronger. A recall to get stronger to pound on them more.
Yeah. Especially on CAITLYN, dude. When you have those timings, you gotta abuse them.
Do we still have time?
When did we start? 4:30. I have a session in like 5 minutes. If you have anything else to say.
Um, I kinda also struggle with some losing lanes, like with Twitch in particular. Like when I see Viper, like Rat IRL use it, it's like some magic that they have. Like they deal more damage for some reason. Like I don't know how.
Like playing
I
as them
guess
or playing against them?
playing Twitch and
Um,
then even playing against Twitch.
yeah, so
I feel like,
playing
yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say like playing Twitch is kind of similar to playing Kaisa. Like you totally do nothing, but like it's even more true on Twitch. Like the first couple waves, unless like you somehow have a lane advantage, and then once you're level 3, then you're online. But then like you very much farm up, but if you don't do that correctly, then you're losing. So
Okay.
I would imagine the troubles you might run into is like you try to attack the enemy, and like Twitch sucks at that. He's only good at pulling, at least early, and then once the
Yeah.
mid game comes, then he can start attacking. It's kind of the opposite of most ADs. Most ADs start off able to attack and have to transition to kiting and defensive positioning as the game goes on, whereas Twitch
Hmm.
like starts off defensive and then since he can queue into the enemy, then he transitions into offensive.
Yeah. I guess that kind of resonates with me. It's like I've had some experiences trying to play Twitch, and honestly, I chunk them and I burn their sums, but I lose a lane after. It's so sad.
Yeah, that's how it is. You try to trade into them, it sucks. Like you throw the W at them, they walk away. Damn it! But they're walking into you. You throw the W, ownage, insta win, no problem. I mean, if you played some Twitch, it would easily make you better at like pulling the enemy into you. At least if you got good at that. So maybe that's something to do.
um, some other questions. How do I go about? Because like the replays I gave you, those are replays I felt like I could have somehow played better. Like I feel like there's even though not realistically to win the game, I feel like there's like something to optimize there, which you did tell me about.
Yeah,
But
as
there are like
ADs,
other. Yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say on ADC, like it's always gonna be like keeping some discipline towards powering up. Your main goal on every ADC basically is to continue to farm and then continue to get strong. And whenever you die in the fights or like misplay the lane, then that becomes like a double whammy against you because the enemy gets
Mhm.
stronger and you get weaker because you weren't farming. And so they win the fight, they get gold, they get a farm, they get turret plates, like all that against you. Versus if you don't die, then it's like they win the fight, they kill your support, but you get to keep farming. So it evens things out more. And
Mhm.
then anytime you move around the map, at least mid game, right? Which I didn't get to see a lot of, but like mid game, if you uphold your lane until like there's a reason to move in which you're not giving up farm in the timing, then you're good. But if you're giving up farm for like whatever's happening, then things can get bad.
Mhm.
Yeah, and sometimes you have to do that, but if like the more you can stick to like upholding your lane for the farm so that you get stronger so that you carry later, like the better things go. But
Okay.
that all comes from experience, man. Like you have to dummy attack the enemy because you want to and stuff like that to realize you can't. But yeah, that's like the end goal that you want to aim at as ADC.
Okay. I guess a Grandmaster next season.
Yep. I mean, you got a good start from 1 year of like mid into that. That's looking good.
Mm-hmm. Mostly mid game. I think it's just pretty simple. No, clear mid, clear camps. If no vision, if vision, a clear mid, go to side lane or some stuff.
Yeah, you could
So
watch
clear objective.
Gumayushi too to watch for like other things when he goes to side lanes and stuff like that. Because it's
Okay.
very much about reading the map to know when and like where you can do things. But it's always going to revolve around getting farm. Because sometimes you can go
Mm-hmm.
to a side lane, collect 5 waves while the map is fighting, no problem. So
Okay.
yeah, main goal get farm, no matter what. It's
I
so
guess
much.
that's most of what I want to ask. But yeah, main
Yeah.
go get farm.
Yep. Alrighty. Well, I got to get going, but it was good talking to you. I like how you play.
Thanks, man.
Yeah. Alrighty.
If I plateau again, I'll try to call you.
Alrighty. Sounds good.
Okay. But
Yep.
thanks a lot, man. Oh yeah, do you have a recording of this or?
Yeah. I can send it to you whenever I upload it. Might be a couple days. Might be tomorrow. I don't know.
Okay, no worries, no worries.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Thanks, man.
Cool. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Peace.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That guy was good. That guy was good. I like that.